Hi guys, my name is Alina. I am a senior comm major here at UTSA, and I am very excited to be in my last semester here at the university. I am hoping that in the next year or so I can transition over into USAA's marketing department. I have been lucky enough to be able to go ahead and do some mentoring while I am fulfilling my current position. So I'm very excited that hopefully this spring I will be able to successfully transition into that department. For my personal story, I'm going to be telling a story about my gender identity, which is female, but how it has negatively impacted my work experience in the past. Prior to the current role that I have, I was a bartender and a server for a really long time. And in those fields, that's typically one of the only fields where women tend to make more than men, just for a variety of reasons. But it felt like no matter how hard I worked in that position, that all of my male coworkers would always tell me that the only reason that I did well was just because I was a girl. So that did create a negative space in that work environment, and it did make me feel like no matter how hard I worked, either in this position or in the future, that nothing I ever did was going to be seen as more than just, oh, that's good work for a girl. In regards to escalating the matter, my managers just took it as a joke essentially and said, well, there's nothing to really bother HR about with this, it's just the way it is. And so that was a really big motivator for me at the time to get out of that field, because I did feel like it was a very toxic environment. There was also as people get a little bit more inebriated at the bar, there definitely was some inappropriate behavior from guests. And I was lucky enough to have male coworkers who were, even though they were making those comments, they did stand up for me in those situations and ensure that I was safe and that nothing bad would ever happen to me, other than maybe just a few ugly words being thrown my way. So that is one of the experiences that I've had there, as well as just feeling essentially unsafe to walk to your vehicle at the end of the night. So sometimes we would end anywhere from 2 a.m. to 3 a.m. depending on the shift, and so it's a little sketchy to be walking out in the middle of the night to an unlit parking lot. And so I did have some male coworkers walk me to my vehicle just to ensure that I safely made it out there. And yeah, but that is also another part of my cultural positionality that has influenced me heavily throughout life. My motivation for doing well in this class is going to be getting a better career. Like I stated earlier, I do want to go into the marketing department, and one of the biggest factors into getting into that is having a degree, and I do want to ensure that I am able to move forward in life rather than just staying stagnant in one position. My other motivator is my family. They are very excited for me to finally finish this degree. I took off 2 to 3 years for a little bit. I just didn't know what I really wanted to do. I felt really lost and like I had no sort of motivation, so I did take some time off, but I am excited to be almost done now. And then my last motivating piece is going to be having a better work-life balance. I do have a lot of PTO at my current job, but it is a call center environment, and so it can be hard to take off really popular days throughout the year, because if a number of employees have already taken it off, unfortunately you're unable to. And moving into a department where there are essentially there's more availability would be a very big help in order to plan like vacations or just appointments and things like that. So I would love to have that flexibility. Another one of my goals is improving my communication for work. I felt going into this degree that I had a very strong communication background. However, I've learned a lot more than I ever thought was possible just through the readings, discussions, and things like that. So I'm very thankful for that, and I hope to take away even more during this last semester. And I also wish to better my voice in regards to speaking up and speaking out for a variety of things. At the time when those comments were made, I didn't feel strong enough to make any sort of argument as to why my skill in the job was more than just a gender. It was that I was a hard worker and that I essentially never stopped moving while I was on the clock. And so that is one of my other goals. In regards to strategies I'm going to use in order to achieve these goals is not just read the information that is given to us, but to critically think and apply it in a scenario just in my head, kind of talk things out with myself in order to ensure that I'm not just reading it, but I'm actually actively learning. And then my other strategy is going to be being intuitive and asking questions. And so I am really excited that through our online course book, we are able to just read along and ask questions, answer questions. And even if I'm not answering a question, it is really nice to see other people's questions that are being proposed, just to see what the answers are and how our other students are feeling in the class. But yeah, I'm very excited for this last semester. Good luck to you all.